It's cool.
Yeah. We good. All right. All right. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Fanalyst TV once again today, and I have a very, very special guest today. A very huge Chelsea fan. As you can see, he's got the Chelsea jacket right
Yeah,
now. Dude, how you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm not happy with the international week though. I
Hey,
think it's just
it's
killing us.
depressing.
Yo,
Everyone
I can't.
who,
So
yeah.
I don't even understand the UEFA Nations thing, relegation. Bro, that thing is so useless.
I think it's one of those things where you know how they used to just have friendlies only, and then obviously Euro, and but then they just decided, let's try create a new cup so that they take it more seriously. I don't know, but international break for me is depressing.
Yo, I hate it. I really hate it. I can't stand the
Yeah.
thing.
So getting
Cool.
getting straight into the topics for this video. Today we're basically gonna do a player ratings for Chelsea's new signings, and we're gonna do the ratings out of 10, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the upcoming games this weekend. So, dude's gonna help me out here. He's gonna be pretty much rating the players, and then we're gonna see, what he thinks of the impact they've had so far. So the player that we're gonna start off with today is actually we're gonna start off at the back. We're gonna go from back to front.
Okay,
We're gonna
cool.
start off with Edouard Mendy. Out of 10, what would you say?
Uh he hasn't given me any reason not to give him a 10 out of 10. Like
Damn.
he's been fantastic. No, seriously, he's been the answer we've been looking for, bruh. Because Kepa has been a big problem.
Yeah.
Not only still remember that I think it's the League Cup final when he refused to come out. It all started there, bruh. That's what.
Oh, when we
Oh,
were still coached by Sarri.
yeah, so it wasn't only with Lampard. It all started there with his attitude. And then when Lampard came, those goals he was shipping, and the defense crumbled because they knew at the back it wasn't safe as well. So with Mendy coming in and the assurance he's given the team, not only just the 11, everyone, with Lampard, the squad as well, us, the fans, we very happy with Mendy. I don't know if there's a fan out there who's not happy with Mendy. So he hasn't given me a reason to There's nothing I can criticize about him right now. So for now, I'd give him a 10 out of 10 to. Okay, I'd give him a 9.5, but he's been fantastic. Seriously, he's been very good. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
what you think of.
I don't know about a 10, but I wouldn't have given him less than a 9 because he really hasn't made a mistake. He hasn't made a mistake, and the huge difference in terms of what we had and what we now have. I mean, just to think that we literally never ever had this many clean sheets like with Kepa like in a row ever. Because every time Kepa plays, we already know we're gonna concede at least one goal. It's a guarantee. We have to score. That means if we want to win a game, we have to score minimum 2 goals to win, which is very
That's
tough, especially against those um, low block sides that just defend and wait to counter. So yeah, I can't disagree with the 10, but I would have probably gone with the 9. But
not
yeah, 10 is still fair because he hasn't made a single mistake. All
true.
right, so let's move on to let's go to Ben Chilwell. Obviously, I don't know if you know, but he got injured in the
Yeah,
England game. Yeah, and
had problems.
yeah, back spasms apparently. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but hey, I'm praying he's back before the weekend because I don't trust our left backs right now. So yeah, out of 10, Ben Chilwell.
Oof.
Remember,
That
remember though as well, he scored as well a couple goals. He scored like 2 goals now, I think, in the Prem. And yeah, what do you think? I actually want to hear this one.
Defensively, he's been sound, eh? He's been very good. He's been closing up players. He's set pieces as well. He's defended very well. He's a great defender. That's the one thing I love about him. That defensively, that's his first job, and going forward, that's an extra dimension that he adds. I'd give him an 8.5. I think there's still more to come from him. I again with Alonso, who for me is very bad in a 4, but very good in a 3 or a 5 as a wing back. I think with Chillwell, it doesn't matter if it's a 3, a 5, or a 4. He's very good. Going forward, I think if he plays with the winger, I want to see him playing with the winger, outright winger, not Werner. Werner is a striker. Just want to see which
A
runs he's going to
combination.
make. Is it going to come inside? Yeah, overlap. Someone like Pulisic who wants to be on the box. Who wants to, in the box. So I love to see him play with him. But 8.5 would be good for me. There's
Yeah,
still more to come from him.
I
And
think.
then Jerry, yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Because I've watched a little bit of Ben Chilwell even at Leicester, and I still don't think he's reached that. Because at Leicester, I feel like he was way more attacking. Like here
Yeah.
at Chelsea, I don't know if the coaches, maybe it's the coaches who've been telling him to like watch more on the defensive side, because you can see that he's a bit more reserved at
Yeah.
Chelsea in terms of attacking. At Leicester, all he used to do was just bomb forward, and in a way, I think it's better this way because obviously we've had so many defensive issues. So I think the coach is telling them, focus more on the defensive side. Obviously, we have brilliant attackers, so we don't really have to worry about not scoring. Right now, our biggest worry is not conceding. So I think there's more to come from him. I'm praying that he improves and he actually gets back from the injury before the weekend because he's a big plus for us. And then we're gonna go to a very good signing, in my opinion. I'm excited to hear what your rating is gonna be because this guy probably has not even single-handedly, but like our defense is looking the opposite of what it was last season. Thiago Silva. What do you rate him?
He's been the signing of the season for me personally. Because he's changed Zuma. Zuma is a different beast right now, Going forward with that West Brom game, I can't forget that game. I'm sorry,
Oh, that first mistake.
yeah, I can't erase that. So I'll give him a 9 because I think after that mistake, he's been fantastic all out. Bar Mendy in that United game, he was our best player. Not thinking about Edouard Mendy at the back. He, excuse me, he was just fantastic, man. It's not his tackling, bro. It's his positioning. It is so good
He's
because what he does
intelligent.
because he lets Zuma go and then he just covers and where he just waits. If Zuma hits the ball, then he comes in, just sweeps up. If it passes Zuma, he's there to tackle. He's been very good. It's a 9 just because of the West Brom game, but for me, my signing of the season, seriously.
Just to think, if we had won that West Brom game, it'd be top of the log right now. Just think
Yeah.
about that.
And
But yeah, we just made too many mistakes once again. But we still in the thick of things. We still right there. You think we fit right now? Yeah, we fit the sixth, but we there right there. We where we be. So yeah, I can't disagree with you on that. He can't really get a 10 because of that one. That one mistake was bad because it just it spiraled. So,
Yeah, that's true.
but I still think we still have a lot more to see from him, because you can tell that his intelligence, if he can teach the centre backs, especially centre backs like Tomori, Zuma, Christensen, that defensive intelligence, know where to be. Like, you don't have to be the fastest centre back to be one of the best. And you can see that from Thiago Silva, that he doesn't really have pace, but you wouldn't be able to tell that he doesn't have pace, because he's already there. He anticipates where he needs to be before it actually happens. So that's something that other fridge at Manchester United can't do. He really can't do that.
Yeah, I saw that earlier on.
The fridge.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Wait, before we continue, can you just tell me what's your take on Rudiger? Do you see him in the team going forward?
This is the thing. Rudiger now, for me, and the Rudiger like 3 or 4 years ago, I think are completely different players. Because if you watch Rudiger from last season, it's not that he was making silly mistakes, bro. Like, silly mistakes. It's not like he was, like, sometimes there wouldn't be any pressure on him, like, from defensively, but he'd just make such silly mistakes. He'd give away the ball, and he'd let players like run past him, and you almost think, like, is this guy mentally inside the game? Is he focused? And I don't think he has that. Defensively, we need someone who can be focused for 90 minutes plus extra time, and I don't think Rudiger can do that for us. And I was thinking to myself, okay, fine, I get that he's not playing at Chelsea right now, and obviously we have a good centre-back pairing. But when I watch him play for Germany as well, it's the same thing. Germany's defense with him there is terrible. So I'm thinking, if he can't defend because most of the time players play better for their country. Like, we've seen players who are struggling in their club and they still play better for their country, because there's that extra bit of motivation and there's less pressure from the clubs, from the fans. So I've been watching the German games, obviously, because we have Havertz, Werner, and Rudiger in there. But still, it's the same. Like, I haven't seen that bounce back. And another thing that people forget is that Rudiger has had so many injuries. Like, he's had like at least 3 surgeries now on his knees, and he's not getting any younger. So what I think Lampard is trying to do, you could see slowly but surely, Azpilicueta is no longer playing as much. Giroud is no longer playing as much. Rudiger is no longer playing as much. Even the likes of Kovacic and Jorginho aren't playing as much. The only players that are older that are playing is N'Golo Kante and Thiago Silva, and that's because they're still world class right now. So you can tell that Chelsea right now are building. I'm sure even Lampard tells the players that, yeah, guys, I appreciate you for being here, but there's a project. It's a long-term project. You can see even with the players they brought in. So that's why I say Rudiger, I don't really see him being part of that long-term project unless something crazy happens, like one of our defenders gets injured and he comes in and he has to play like every game. But even still, I would still play Tomori ahead of him.
It's true. Same here.
Yeah.
All
right. Moving on. That's defense done. We're gonna move into the midfield. Let's start off with the young Kai Havertz. I know a lot of people have been hating on him, saying he scored a hat-trick against Barnsley. But I'm like, dude, that's what he should be doing. If you're playing against weaker opposition, you should be dominating. You can't hate on someone for dominating against weaker opposition. Because if he does badly against weaker opposition, you're gonna say, he's not good enough, he's not good enough. But then when he dominates, you're gonna say, it's just weak opposition. You have to pick a side. So yeah, what do you think of Kai so far?
I feel with him more is still to come, and I'm not surprised that he hasn't been that great because it's the Premier League. It's the toughest league out there, and he's not a strong boy. He gets bullied. I remember. I think it was the West Brom game. I don't know which game, but they just shoved him off the ball.
Oh,
The
Southampton.
Southampton game just got shoved off the ball. So there's still more to come with him. He's been okay. There's nothing to criticize with him. I just feel like he'll be a big player going forward once he understands how tough the league is, and once he understands the people around him on what he can benefit from them, especially with N'Golo Kante. And the other thing with him, I see Mason Mount there with an 8, but I would love to see him play with Kovacic. I would love to see him playing with a very intelligent midfielder, what he would do. Because I think with Mount is one-dimensional. He's going to press, he's going to try shoot from distance, he's going to run around. But with Kovacic, who's going to carry the ball, which space is he going to utilize Kai Havertz? With someone who's going to carry the ball and go forward, is he going to get in the box? Is he going to stand in the 18 area just to shoot? So those kind of combinations I love to see. So for me, I'd give him a 6.5.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a
Yeah,
fair assumption. I think another thing is with Kai, I think he's more of a long-term investment
project
for Chelsea. He's not really. I don't think they expect him to be doing crazy things like in his first maybe 1 or 2 seasons. I think it's more long-term. They're looking at maybe 5 years, 6 years time, like the improvements that he's going to make. And at the same time, I think another thing is people think that every single player is going to get 10 assists and 20 goals a season, like he was doing at Germany. Or like, for example, at Germany, he was scoring that many goals. But we need to remember that at Leverkusen, he was the man, first of all. He was their best player there. He was the main guy. That's who everyone looked to when they wanted a goal or an assist, right? Second of all, I feel like now with players like Ziyech, Werner, they're the ones who are going to be getting the stats more than him. He's just going to be more involved in the build-up play. But let's be honest, they're going to be getting more stats. Their numbers are going to be higher than his. And like, I'm okay with that. As long as he's playing his position right, I don't expect him to be producing crazy stats, because like I see him in the game and I can see the way he plays and it fits in with the system. And if he's an unselfish player, it's only going to help our team do better. So, yeah. All right. So we're going to move on.
I agree with that.
We're going to move on to, I don't know who we should do first. Ziyech first or Werner first? Let's go with Werner.
So what's your rating on Havertz?
Oh, I'd give him a 7.
7. All right, sweet.
7. But I understand why you gave him a 6.5, and like I understand if someone would give him a 6, but I would give him a 7. But yeah, I still want to see more though. Still want to see more. Yeah, let's go to Werner. Timo time.
Timo.
4 goals. He's been playing on the wing.
Bro, I don't like that position for him, I really don't, because he's not a skillful player. He's not going to take on defenders. He's
not
just
a natural
someone
dribbler.
He just needs to see the net. You see, that's all he needs. And if you saw that, I think it was the 4th goal against Sheffield.
Yeah.
If you see that goal, most people would have placed that.
Yeah.
But he He did first time, bruh.
He knew
And
it's like he knew what he was gonna do before
yeah,
he. Yeah,
and Ramsdale, I think, yeah, it couldn't move because the moment he positioned himself, it was only going past him. That's all he could do. So on the left, I really don't feel him as much, but I think he's been good. He For a player, I thought he wasn't gonna be this good now. Thinking about how aggressive the Premier League defenders are. They don't play around. They don't give you the time to think.
yeah,
They just be in your face as quickly as they can. So I think he's done very well. But I think the next two games, especially the one coming after Newcastle, that'll be the game for him. And I hope by then he'll be playing as the main striker against a bigger team, where with the confidence, we have the confidence. Now it's the time for him to just up it up a notch. Just start scoring more than a goal a game. If he can start doing that, I'll be more than happy with him. But for now, still with him, nothing to criticize. But his positioning now on the left, it's a killer. It's not good. So I'd give him an 8.
yeah. I almost hate how like I love and hate the fact that he's doing well on the left because I feel like because he's scoring now, Lampard is probably gonna think, he's scoring, so just keep him there on the left. But like, we need to play him in the middle. We know where he wants to be, and at the same time, Pulisic is coming back, and we can't bench Pulisic. He was our best player last season. He's probably gonna be one of our best. So it's a tough one, and it's tough
Yeah.
because even Tammy is kind of picking up his game now as well. So it's going to be tough. I don't know. Maybe Lampard should play them both up front. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if that would work.
Yeah.
Maybe he could play alongside Tammy there as a front two, and then but then the system would have to change. You'd probably have to play a 4-4-2 maybe.
Yeah.
Then someone else in the midfield is going to have to leave. So, because you're going to probably have to play Ziyech and play. Yeah, hey, it's gonna be interesting to see what he does, but I hope he does the right thing. That's all I hope, and I hope the team wins. But yeah, I can't disagree with that rating. Personally, I think we're yet to see the best of Timo Werner. For me, I think even the game against Sheffield, he easily could have gotten a hat trick that game.
Oh, he hit the post,
he hit the
right?
bar. There was that one where he hit the bar twice, actually. The one where he lobbed the keeper and it shaved the bar a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think even that last goal that he scored, you could see there was a bit of anger in that strike. Like you could see he was mad that he didn't score the previous opportunity, and he was like, "Yo," because he could have even passed it to Tammy, but he was like, "Nah, I'm taking this," and he just smashed it past the keeper, and the keeper had no chance. So yeah.
What's your take on him being our penalty taker?
Oh, I'm happy. I wanted him to be. I wanted him to be a penalty taker. First of all, because I've never liked. Look, I'm not hating on Jorginho. I'm not saying he's a bad Jorginho. I'm not saying he's a bad penalty taker. But I've never liked that penalty technique. I don't like it. I hate it, and I'm never gonna support that technique. But it is what it is. He was taking the penalty, and if he's scoring, you can't really complain. But even when he was scoring, I'd still be nervous. There's no comfort. I can't sit down and be like, okay, this penalty is going in. Because I feel like you're giving the keeper so much time. You're just banking on him making a mistake. So if the keeper's smart, that's an easy penalty to save. It's an easy penalty.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of these penalty takers and people stopping and starting and penalty takers. And how many penalties are being saved now?
A lot.
That Frank Lampard penalty where you go in there, you smash it. You smash it in the back of the net, bro. Don't give the keeper a chance. And that's what Werner does.
That's true. Nah, I agree with that.
And you can
So
tell, yeah.
what would you give him, Timo?
Nah, I'd give
Rating.
him an 8. I'd give him an 8. Solid 8.
Right.
But I still want to see more. I think he can give us more. I think he can be a lot better. Like, I think he would be a lot more comfortable if he was playing up front. But at the same time, I still think he could give a lot more. He's done well so far. 4 goals in the league. You know, he's had a couple goals in the Champions League. Had a couple penalties.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving to the player who everyone's been going crazy about right now. He's even killing the game for his country. You know, he scored 2 goals and had an assist in his last game for Morocco. And obviously, we've seen the genius. Everyone's calling him the wizard, the wizard of London. I call him the Moroccan wizard. Hakim Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech, sorry. Man, what a player. And I'm sure if you watch one of my previous videos, talking about how people out there were talking about how Willian is better than Ziyech, but
Man, I did watch that Arsenal. Well, I have never seen such bad analysis from that was really bad. That and I was actually talking to Tandanani about that, and he couldn't answer me, man. Because
because he
himself,
supports Arsenal.
yeah. So, Hakim Ziyech. You know, I that's why I want Werner as a striker. I want to see those runs because he's so quick. And with Ziyech, bro, he takes that chance. You know, he takes. If you can see against Sheffield, how many balls he whipped into the 18 area.
He could have got like 4 or 5 assists that game, honestly.
Man,
if we took all our chances.
Yeah, the thing is that Temi is not that smart, right? You know, he doesn't see it because I remember after the game they asked him with Werner, so is it like do you guys give each other signals? And he just said no, he just gives me the eyes and then I know where to put it. That's all. Yeah. Just that easy. He's been fantastic. He's been good. He's the player we needed. The creativity, the arrogance. You know, when he plays, man, it just doesn't care what's happening around
this
him.
Guy. It's almost like when you watch him, it's like the audacity. Like this guy has the audacity to do this.
He's a crowd pleaser. That's the other thing.
And I wish the fans were there. Yeah.
He's like the swag. He's like you see Neymar when he's on the field. The way he just walks, you can see it, superstar. With him, I feel the same way, and I feel he's got the perfect player there in Reece James, who overlaps because he doesn't have the speed to go past the defenders and go whip across. He comes back, and the crosses that he puts in there, man. And I think Chillwell is benefiting from that as well.
Yeah.
From being at the far post because as
it's
a defender, that's the thing. You know, I just feel like as a defender, if I was a defender, how do you defend that ball? Because if you try to touch it, it's an own goal. So what do you do with it? You know, and it's hit in such a way that you're always running after it as a defender. Because when he hits it, you're always running after the ball. And as a goalkeeper, you're in two minds there. Do I come? Do I not? What's happening? Because if you saw the Chilwell goal, the keeper could have came. People said the keeper could. And I've watched it so many times and I think, I understand why he didn't come for that. That was hit with such pace. and it wasn't even near him. It's an inviting ball. He just puts it in a way that everyone has a decision to make. It's the goalkeeper, the defender, and the Chelsea players. They all have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Do I put my head on it? Do I kick it with my left or my right? He's been great. And I feel like these players, especially Pulisic and Werner and Hakim as well, who want to be in the 18 area are going to benefit a lot from him, especially Timo Werner. So for him, I'll give him a 9. I haven't seen a bad game from him. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
And the waves that he's creating on social media are
Yeah.
just great. As a Chelsea fan, man, hey,
I
I'm very
just
happy.
I just wish he was there at the start of the season and he never got injured. We would
Oh,
have been. We probably would have
oh,
scored a lot more goals with him on the pitch. And the thing is, I think that's tough for the opposition, like the defenders and the keeper, is that you don't know if he's going to shoot or if he's going to cross, because he could still curl it in the top corner there. So you kind of like, is he going to cross this time? Is he going to shoot? You don't know. So
mm,
that uncertainty creates those errors where the keeper isn't really sure, like, should I come for it? Should I wait for the shot? Because anything is possible at that point. So
yeah.
yeah, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with the 9. The only reason I would give him a 9 is just because he's only played like 4 games. So that's the only, because he hasn't played as many. But if it wasn't for
You
that, I'd probably
yeah.
give him a 10.
Yeah, you feel like he deserves a 10 in a way, ne?
Yeah,
Because
but
he's changed the way we play. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Yeah.
yeah. All right, that brings us. I'm not gonna talk about um, other signings that like loan signings and stuff like that. We're just gonna keep it at the players that are in the team right now, and then look ahead to Chelsea versus Newcastle. Um, Another good opportunity, another great opportunity for us to get 3 points. It's really there for us to take, and if we can win this and get 3 points, we're going to be in a good position, because already Liverpool and City took points off each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not really nervous about Leicester being at the top, or teams like Southampton being at the top. I think we could easily um, go ahead of those teams. But yeah, the top teams right now aren't looking too good. Man City doesn't really look amazing anymore. I think Pep's been found out. Um,
Yeah.
Liverpool right now struggling with injuries, so they're not looking too good as well. And obviously, Tottenham, yeah, I'm not really going to say much about them. Manchester United aren't really looking that great. And obviously, Arsenal, shambolic team. Um,
Who's worse, Arsenal and United?
Arsenal for me is worse. It's
Right.
it's hard to admit that, but yeah, Arsenal's worse. Manchester, Manchester's at least you still know, even when they're down, there's still that bit of arrogance that, hey, we're playing for Manchester. You hear the fans talk about, and the pundits talking, this is Manchester United Football Club. At Arsenal, that doesn't even exist anymore. Like, nobody says this is Arsenal Football Club anymore. Like, it's more just, they're just praying that the team. I don't know what's going on at Arsenal, man. Like, I don't know if it's the coach, if it's the players, or the system.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Newcastle is a team on the ropes right now. When people are boxing and the guy's on the ropes, and the other guy's just putting pressure. Right
Yeah.
now, Newcastle are a team on the ropes, and we have to go there. It's going to be hard, obviously, because they're gonna try to fend. We already know it's gonna be basically playing. They're gonna play like a 9-1 against us. And what's your predicted starting lineup for the game? Bear in mind as well that
Great.
Thiago Silva is playing today, And we remember last he's playing today, right? Yeah, they're playing against I think they're playing Uruguay. Thiago Silva was playing today. You remember the last time it was international break and Thiago Silva played on a Wednesday. He didn't play on the weekend. Chillwell might be out, possibly. There's a good chance he'll be out. So that's already 2 players that you're gonna have to consider in this starting 11. So yeah, what's your starting 11, and then to end off, score prediction for the game.
Mendy at the back, of course.
Yeah, without a
The
doubt.
thing we've got the Champions League coming up, so I don't want him to. With Spurs coming up, I don't want him to play the Champions League game, Silva. So if he can, I'd put him in on Saturday. The problem is that it's an early kickoff, eh? It's a very early kickoff. So yeah, I'd still play him. Silva, Zuma, Aspilicueta on the left, and James on the right. Ngolo with the Mason Mount and Kovacic.
Who would you play on the left back?
Aspilicueta.
Oh, okay.
I'm not playing Alonso.
Actually, I always forget that Aspilicueta can play left back.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm not playing Alonso against Saint Maximin.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
It's a big. That's you giving him the game. You're just telling him go for it. So yeah, I'd play the last starting midfield in N'Golo Kante, Kovacic, and Mason Mount, with Havertz on the bench. I just want it to continue, but then after then Havertz can just come in. But if he wants Havertz in the team, it has to be for Mason Mount for me. He needs to try other combinations. And Mount and Havertz, we've seen it, how it plays out. Let's see Kovacic and Havertz. And then going forward, I'd play, of course, Hakim. You can't leave him out. Timo as the number 9. And if Pulisic is not 100% or not fit to play, then I'd play Callum Hudson-Odoi, because he played for the under-23s. I think it was last week, and apparently he had a very good game. And
he scored, I think, and he got an assist, I think.
Yeah, and he himself even came out and said, because of that injury, I think it was an Achilles or something, that he hasn't been great and all that. But I feel with him, he just needs to be given a chance. Yes, he might have not a big game. He wanted to go out on loan to Bayern. Lampard refused, Chelsea refused. Then give him a chance. Let's see him. Let's see him play. Give him, because with him, I feel like if you're gonna start the bench, you're not giving him the opportunity to express himself more. Because for some reason he always comes in with less time. He never gets like the only time he got so much time was the West Brom game. Other than that, all the time, I mean, there was one where he came in, there was like 3 minutes left, which
extra
was
time.
So weird. My man, Lampard, what's up? So yeah, I'd love to see him play. If Silva doesn't play, I'd play tomorrow, because for some reason I love Christensen, but I'd play Christensen. If N'Golo Kante is injured, I'd play Christensen before Jorginho, because he plays for Denmark. He plays as a defensive midfielder. They don't even trust him at the back, so why risk his
I really do not like Christensen. I do not like him at all. He's at the bottom. Him and Rudiger at the bottom for me.
No, I like him just because he's an academy player. That's all. I love seeing these young players come out. Before, and my score prediction is the thing with Newcastle is that they're so defensive, man. Like Steve Bruce prides himself in the defensive because he plays. Who's that guy? Those brothers with Isaac
Longstaff.
Longstaff, and they all of them they so defensive, and he plays Shelby central midfield.
I think Shelby might be injured though. I'm not sure.
Isaac Hayden.
Shelby, I think he might be injured because he hadn't played the last 2 games.
Yeah. So I just think because he plays a 5 at the back, That's another thing. Oof, we might need a Temi or a Giroud there. But yeah, that's my starting lineup. And I think 2-0 with Hakim playing a big part again. But before, just tell me your if what you think of starting lineup. And then can you, because there's been waves coming out, and I know it's Chelsea fans, on the Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece James. And who's the better player? Well, there's been that, so I want to hear your take on that, but then let's say what's your take on the Newcastle or my Chelsea team?
Okay. Personally, I agree with the whole starting lineup you made. I agree with it. But if I'm gonna say predicted starting lineup, I know Frank Lampard. He's not gonna play Odoi. He's not gonna play him. So I've already accepted that he's gonna play Tammy up front and he's gonna play Werner on the left. I don't think Pulisic is ready yet. Otherwise, we would have probably heard them saying he's back in training. So I don't think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna start Tammy up front, and Werner on the left. And I've accepted it. It's not really. It's one of those things that I'm just like, okay, because even when I used to cry about Mount playing on the left wing, and he still played him, so I've accepted it. And I think I'm hoping Odoi gets an opportunity in the Champions League game. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for, because remember the last time as well, he got an opportunity. So I'm hoping he gives him an opportunity there.
Rest some players,
Yeah, and I'm hoping Lampard doesn't rest Thiago Silva against Newcastle, but rests him in the Champions League game. I can accept us. Yeah, I can accept us losing that Champions League game, but I cannot accept us losing this Newcastle game. This Newcastle game is very important, especially because we have Tottenham next, which is going to be a big game for us. And if anything happens, the least we should do is get those 3 points so that when we come into the Tottenham, relaxed, we don't feel that pressure. We're still in the thick of things, So, yeah.
And then you mentioned that, with the game, it's so important because between Leicester and Liverpool, Southampton and Wolves, Spurs and Man City, someone is going to lose ground.
Yes.
Because especially Southampton. I don't like seeing them there. I really don't.
That's a good team right there. Don't sleep on Southampton.
But they need to go back to where they belong, that number 11, 12 spot.
I think Southampton will finish top 8 this season. Oof. You know what? I'm actually
sorry, yeah.
I'm actually gonna say this. I never wanted to say it, but I'm gonna say it right here. I think Southampton will beat Manchester United. I may be wrong. But I think
injured.
If bar that Ings comes back, obviously Ings is a major, but Southampton have a very, very underrated team, and they have a good coach in there. If you look at Southampton's team, they have players there that some players can even play international. And with Ings in there, you know they're going to score, definitely.
That's true.
It's going to happen. And they're rising in confidence because even against us, let's be honest, Southampton were very, very dangerous during that game. There was never a moment in that game, even when we were 2-0 up, there was never a moment where I was relaxed, like, okay, no, it's fine, we can chill. So, yeah, I think Southampton are going to be the surprise of the season. I watched Southampton, especially last season, because last season they were doing badly. And then they got a new coach. They got a new coach, and you could see the bounce after lockdown. They were just playing different football. So I think teams, watch out for Southampton this season. Watch out for them.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. Okay, so you asked me about Trent Alexander-Arnold.
And with James, the comparison that's out there.
Okay. If you asked me this question last season, I would have probably said Trent. Here's why. Trent obviously was more established. And obviously another thing is we hadn't seen as much of Reece James as we had seen of Trent. Second of all, we couldn't really see Trent wasn't getting as exposed defensively because he had people like Van Dijk in there covering everything for him. And we've seen Liverpool dominate most of the games, dominate possession, and we all know the best way to defend is possession. So, but now that you can see Trent Alexander-Arnold isolated in defensively in different positions, literally now all I'm seeing is just basically that Trent Alexander-Arnold is just a good crosser of the ball. That's all I'm seeing right now. He's a set piece guy, set piece specialist. If you tell him to go forward and put in a cross, he's gonna put in a good cross. If you tell him to free kick, he's gonna give you a free kick. From what I've seen, the progression as well in terms of who is also going to be better in the future, I think I have to go with Reece James, and that's just because I've seen the improvement that Reece James has made, especially defensively. There's no doubt, offensively, Reece James is as good as Trent.
Yeah.
Even in terms of crosses, Reece James' crosses are insane. His set pieces as well. We've seen him take set pieces. We've seen him take shots from outside of the box. So you can't tell me that Trent Alexander-Arnold is better than Reece James in terms of set pieces and crosses. For me, they're both on the same level. But then the difference comes in defensively. I think Reece James is a lot better defensively. So, and he's more solid. He has more strength. Trent Alexander-Arnold... Look, if I'm an attacker and I'm running at Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm not scared. I'm not thinking, oh, Trent Alexander-Arnold, here we go. No, I'm coming for him. But if I look at Reece James and I'm like, yo, this guy here is gonna stop me here. If I'm trying to get away from him, I'm not trying to run at him. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Reece James. You know, a lot of people might disagree, especially Liverpool fans, but that's my opinion. So. Right. Yeah, and then in terms of scoreline, I think I would say 2-1. 2-1 to Chelsea.
You think we'll concede?
I think we concede if we don't have Chillwell and Thiago Silva. I think we concede, and I think we're gonna make. I think it's gonna be one of those goals we concede where it's like a silly mistake, you know, especially on the counter. It's going to be something on the counter. I have a feeling, or you know, one of those silly goals that we make, like a penalty, something stupid like that. I think. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1. I think now that everybody has seen Werner scoring all these goals, Ziyech, obviously the Newcastle players are no. So whenever they hit the ball, they're going to double team, triple team. So I don't think they're going to be as effective because I know that the coach is going to have a tactic and say, guys, foul this guy. Ziyech is going to be getting kicked. Trust me, Newcastle are going to be kicking him. Those Longstaff brothers, Shelby,
Hey,
they're going to kick him. They're not gonna let him run. They're going to just kick him. So yeah, I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for us.
nice.
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see, man. I'm excited. Thank you, bro. Thank you for taking the time to come on here and give your opinions, bro. I know we're in a good position. It's what a time to be a Chelsea fan.
The best. I'm so proud, bro. I can't stop talking about Chelsea, man. Anyone, especially to Manchester United fans, I rub that salt, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
So yeah, man. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. And we're probably gonna be back for a review after we win that game. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. All right, YouTube. Thank you to everyone who has watched, subscribed, commented, shared. We're finally above the 200 subscriber mark. So let's take it to 300. Let's take it to 300. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep commenting, and we'll see you guys for the next game against Newcastle.